The Autódromo do Algarve sets the scene for round 4 of the 2024 FIM JuniorGP World Championship. Nestled among the rolling hills close to the city of Portimão at the southern tip of Portugal, the 4.6-kilometre piece of tarmac is famed for its undulating nature, sweeping corners and long front straights, which allows riders to really stretch the legs of their machines. 12 months ago saw Xabi Zurituza become the 100th different winner in Junior GP after launching an incredible Race 1 comeback, while Joel Esteban timed to perfection to take Race 2 honours. Now, it is the turn of the current crop to stake their claim. Who will take glory in 2024? It's time to find out as we ride the roller coaster. A very good afternoon to you all watching from home, and what an exciting day of action we have lined up. Sunday's menu from Portimão sees 2 Junior GP races, 2 Moto2 races and 1 European Talent Cup and Stock European Championship race each, providing a healthy serving of premium motorcycle racing with Race 1 in Junior GP first up. Before we get to action here, let's have a look at what happened last time out in Catalonia as Adrian Cruces began on pole position, though the Spaniard found himself going the wrong way early on as Max Quiles took the whole shot after the run into turn 1. Quiles, though, had to serve 2 long lap penalties in the race, denting his victory hopes. The number 19 of Alessandro Morosi came from deep on the grid to get himself among the lead riders, while Eddie O'Shea did a lot of the front running, though late fireworks saw him pushed out wide and out of contention as Jesus Rios struck at the very end for a 3rd win of the campaign ahead of Uriarte and Cruces. In race 2, Quiles once again got off the line brilliantly to lead into turn 1. Both the likes of O'Shea, O'Gorman, Buchanan, Carpe and Uriarte were all among the lead group that kept tabs on the number 28. O'Gorman, Quiles and Uriarte all vied for the lead before more last lap drama saw race 1 Rios go down, meaning it was a 3-way dash for the line, which was won by Alvaro Carpe by just 200ths of a second. So again, a very good afternoon to you all here to what is a scorching Portimão circuit. The Autódromo Internacional do Algarve is set to hit 33 degrees. It's currently 29 degrees, a track temperature 35, wind at 12 kilometers an hour. So very hot conditions as the bikes are rolling up across our commentary box here and towards the starting grid. Just a quick state of play before I introduce Liam Hodgins. Marcus Uriarte is our championship leader and the rider to catch. The Spaniard holds a 7-point advantage over Jesus Rios, with his consistent podium form seeing him surge to the summit, though he is still awaiting his first win of the campaign and indeed in Junior GP. My name is Chris Jordan, and joining me in the commentary box today is Liam Hodgins. Liam, a very good morning to you.
Very good morning, Chris, and a very good morning to everybody and around the world. And, well, it's a scorcher of a weekend so far for the rider you're seeing on screen now, the number 96, the rider that we have not seen so far this year, your 2022 European Talent Cup champion, Guido Pini, who returns after injury. I say returns, this is his maiden race in Junior GP, and he's just gone out and set pole position here yesterday. An absolute stunning performance for the Italian, who picked up an injury pre-season in some testing. Broken elbow, but it's not hampering so far, and we've seen him so far this weekend in the paddock, Chris, and he's been bubbling away, bouncing around like he belongs here in Junior GP, the class where the stars are born on the road to MotoGP, and he set an incredible lap time to take pole position ahead of Casey O'Gorman and Alvaro Carpe, the front row of the grid. And when we talked to him yesterday, he was sort of in disbelief a little bit that he managed to set pole position, and you can't blame him, Chris, because when you come here to a class that's your first time in the class, and the other riders have already done 3 rounds. Some of them have raced in other categories around the world, and this is the first time he's been back on a bike for over 3 months. So it's been an incredible journey on his road to recovery. But one of the most thrilling circuits in the world, the Portimão circuit here in the Algarve, did not deter the young Italian rider, who is rolling up to his pole position on the grid. We see him there. The number 96 used to race for the AC Racing squad in European Talent Cup, but he's with the Artbox team this year, and we will hear from him very shortly indeed, and how he set pole position here yesterday.
Yeah, as you say, a brilliant first appearance from the young Italian. Broken elbow at a Red Bull Rookies test in Jerez, so he missed Misano, he missed Estoril, he missed the Barcelona round in Catalunya as well, but he has really made up for lost time. The number 96, part of that Emilio Altamora squad on the Artbox 72 machine. He is a real talent. As you mentioned, a European Talent Cup champion in his own right back in 2022. Graduated from ETC action in 2023, and this is how he won pole position.
A good comeback, I think, no? Was really hot today, but me and the team, we did a really good job today. We work alone all the time, just with our line and push alone, and I think was the correct choice. So I'm really, really happy for this result. Tomorrow is the race, so it will be another day, but we will hope to do the best result.
So 148.352 from the Italian Guido Pini means he starts on pole position. As we mentioned, it is his first race of the season, having come back from a broken elbow sustained in Jerez during testing. So keep an eye on the number 96. It's certainly an immediate impact he has made. It's just his third appearance, having a quick look through my notes here. Just his third appearance in the Algarve. His best was a P5. That came in ETC a couple seasons ago. And as you can see there, Misano, Estoril, Catalunya hasn't picked up any points this season, but that is because he was injured. So very much a new contender, a joker in the pack, if you will, because we have had some brilliant racing in the JuniorGP category this year. Plenty of contenders across track, across the grid, and Pini certainly looks like he can run with the best of them, Liam.
Yeah, he's got a great mentor in his corner. We just saw from the qualifying replay that he has a certain Emilio Altamora helping him through. So Emilio Altamora, former 125cc world champion, also took Mark and Alex Marquez to title glory on the way to world stardom. So Guido Pini is a huge name for the future and an incredible pole position ahead of Casey O'Gorman, the young Irishman, is looking to bag his first podium or his first win of the season. He's been a little bit unlucky so far, Chris, over the last few rounds. He's been involved in some incidents, including Barcelona, through no fault of his own on the final lap at turn 10. There was all chaos going on, and he was unfortunately caught up in that and ran off the track, but eventually picked up a 15th position for 1 point.
Yeah, a little bit of misfortune coming the way of O'Gorman this year. We've seen him fighting at the front on a consistent basis. Again, another ETC graduate who is a rookie in the class, but I believe it's back-to-back front rows for him now. He was on the front row in Barcelona, starting P2 again. Barcelona as well, race 1 he encountered some dramas, which saw him have to start from pit lane. P32 finished, as you saw on the screens a moment ago, meaning he couldn't really cut his way through the pack. A better showing in race 2, but caught up in some really dramatic last lap drama, for lack of a better word, because it really shuffled the pack up. One rider who did benefit though from that race 2 drama on the last lap, not Eddie O'Shea, who was a rider we saw just before, Alvaro Carpe, who pipped teammates Alessandro Morosi and Marcus Uriarte to the win, but just a couple hundredths of a second. Brilliant stuff from Carpe, his first win in the class. Eddie O'Shea then starting P4, the young Brit, and really impressive round from the number 8, who is aboard that MLAV machine. Really impressive round, I should say, in Barcelona. He led for the majority of those races, but in both races, particularly race 1, where he led over the line on most occasions, was very much in that victory fight, and then he got caught up in a late crash, seeing him drop to P13, while in race 2 he crashed out of contention.
Yeah, it was actually a shame for Eddie. I spoke to his dad last night when I saw him at the restaurant at the hotel, and he was saying tomorrow's got to be the day. We've got to pick up some silverware, and Eddie O'Shea is in prime position. He's extremely fast as well. He's shown a big step forward so far this year, really clicking with the Pirelli tyres. We saw a couple of people that were watching on from the sidelines. You might recognise them for any British fans. Max Cook and Carter Thompson, the British Superbike and British Supersport riders. Carter Thompson is actually racing here this weekend for the Yamaha GV Racing in stock, but we'll talk about him later on. Max Keeles here. The rider's come under a little bit of hot water recently as he takes a swig of some of that water before the start of this race. His antics in Barcelona were called into question last time out in JuniorGP, and then he was racing in the Red Bull Rookies Cup in Mugello a few weeks ago and caused, well, a very dangerous collision for one of his fellow riders, Rishi Moodley. Now, it could have been a big disaster. Thankfully, Rishi was okay, but he picked up a race ban for that, which is something that he would not want to continue on for a season that's been really good in terms of JuniorGP and Red Bull Rookies, but probably something that will stand him in good stead going forward. Punish him now and he'll learn from it to be a much safer and better rider for the future years to come.
Cormac Buchanan then on screen as we take a look at the Kiwi rider who will launch from the head of the third row. On the podium twice already this year, those results coming in Misano race 2. Started on pole position as well in Estoril and converted that into a P3 in the sole race in the north of Portugal. A double P5 in Catalonia too, continuing his good form. Cormac Buchanan, a rider who's really taken a step up this year, Liam.
Yeah, huge step up. A couple of podiums so far this year, always in the front group. You've got a feeling that maybe that first win's not too far away, and the AGR team have picked up a race win a couple of years ago here with Joel Kelso, so they know how to win. A rider you just saw there on your screen, the number 78 of Jacob Rosenthaler. He will be picking up a long lap penalty for irresponsible riding, causing a collision with Fernando Yambias at turn 10 in Catalonia a couple of weeks ago. So, your starting grid for race 1 here in JuniorGP. Guido Pini, your rookie, your first timer here at the Algarve in JuniorGP, sets pole position ahead of Casey O'Gorman and Alvaro Carpi, with Eddie O'Shea, Yambias and Keeles running at row 2 ahead of Cormac Buchanan, Jacob Rosenthal and Rico Salmela, who had a big crash here a couple of days ago after crashing with some oil. Thankfully, he was okay. Marcos Uriarte, Jesus Rios and Adrian Cruces round out row 4. Watch out for Uriarte and Rios, your top 2 in the championship. Rishi Moodley, Morossi round out row number 5, and then further back we've got Pomada, Uchimi, Belford, who's been showing strong in Catalonia and so far here this weekend. A change of engine for the British rider ahead of today. RB Adatama, Eamon Odaki and Sharil round out row number 8 for the junior talent team. And further back we've got Farkosh, Puetisan and Liguori rounding out row number 10, with Jeffrey Emmanuel and Uetsu rounding out row number 11 ahead of race 1 here today in the beautiful Algarve.
Away we go then on the warm-up lap, and we'll take a little look at the circuit. It really is one of the most stunning circuits on the motorsports calendar. We come through turns 1, 2 and 3 before the first left-hander at number 4, and that's really the only flat part of the circuit. We took a lap around it yesterday, and in person you see it on the television, but it doesn't do it justice. The undulating nature of this circuit is something to behold as we come around Torre VIP at turn 5 and really get into the uphill, downhill nature of the Autódromo do Algarve. The highlight of which, I would say, of that undulating nature, without doubt, is coming around number 8, turn 8, with that drop into the Craig Jones corner. It's simply sensational. It's blind entry and a quick drop down. We took a lap around it, as you can see here. It's almost scary stuff when you're going at that speed.
You're absolutely right. It's a little bit scary because you come over that and you don't even know if there's anyone over the other side of the brow. And you know what I really found out yesterday is, even though we're going around there at like 30 miles an hour, is that even when you go down the drop, you really feel the wind sweep under your front wheel. Could you imagine how it felt for us, considering what these guys are racing, or these riders are racing on here, with much faster machines, including the Moto2s and the stocks later on, even quicker with high brake horsepower. And they'll just be getting the wind going right under the front wheel and trying to wipe them out. As we see Rosenthaler practice his long lap penalty ahead of the one that he has to serve in the race today. So there is Marcos Uriarte, your championship leader, by 7 points ahead of Jesus Rios. And right on cue, we've got the championship standings up for us. 16 points covering the top 4.
Yeah, keep an eye on row 4. It's pretty blockbuster lineup on the 4th row. Marcos Uriarte, your championship leader. Jesus Rios, the number 54, lining up in P11 alongside him. He's second in the championship with Adrian Cruces, your pole sitter from Barcelona, on the outside of that 4th row. He was on the podium too in Barcelona. Cruces, a rider of some talent and pedigree in this class. So all the riders now roll up to their grid spots. It's a front 4 rows packed with absolute quality. Who will take the whole shot going into 1? Guido Pini, remember, is your pole sitter here today. It is his first appearance. The green flag waves. Can Pini hold on? Will he show any lack of experience? It's time to find out. The red flag is off the circuit. The lights are turning on. It's time to go racing here in the Algarve. Keep an eye on the number 96. As we are off, and it's a good start from your pole sitter. He holds on, but Alvaro Carpe is charging. We've got a problem at the back of the grid, but it's Alvaro Carpe who's going to take the whole shot. Pini is relegated to 3rd as Casey O'Gorman moves into 2nd position, with Yambias and Quiles just behind them. It's Yambias who leads his teammate, the number 28, Max Quiles, but Max Quiles now has Cormac Buchanan pushing him out wide. Brilliant stuff from the Kiwi. Brave move that coming through the opening turns. But it is Guido Pini in 3rd position, Casey O'Gorman in 2nd position, with Alvaro Carpe, your race winner in race 2 in Barcelona, leading here in the early stages.
Yeah, he's going for race number 2. He picked up his first race win back in Catalonia, and already he's looking for like London buses to come.
Oh.
I've got a couple of riders down. That looks like it could be well, one of the MLAV who's on the ground, and we'll keep an eye on which
Take a
one
look at that once we get an opportunity.
Yeah, so that's a
See
shame.
who
That
is
looks like
dropping
it
to the
might
bottom of our
be.
timing screens. Nobody popping up just yet.
So disaster there. We saw a big wheelie coming over the crest of the hill.
It's Rosenthaler,
Yeah, that was
I think, has gotten caught up in that.
Rosenthaler was supposed to be serving his long lap penalty, but it's disaster there. Hopefully the MLAV rider that
Max
was
Quiles
down
on
there
the outside.
will be up and okay. But looking at the front 4, they've already gapped. We did see going into turn 3, always concertinas. Now we'll Cormac Buchanan up the inside of Max Quiles, pushing him out wide. That just seems to a concertina effect. I think that was Eddie O'Shea that's down. Maybe there's 4 riders down there. So Eddie O'Shea was one of them, which is a massive shame for Eddie. He started in 4th position and was looking for a podium here today. His best results at last year came right here at the Algarve with a 5th position, so he was looking to capitalise on that. But also Rosenthaler, I believe, has gone down as well. And maybe it looked like we've lost one of the Australian Galatians.
Rico
We've got 3
Salmela
of
has
them
gone
there.
down as well.
Rico
Rider we
Salmela,
had a
such
chat
a-
with yesterday, who
Yeah.
said he just needs his luck to turn. He had a horrible high side yesterday, going quite slowly, as it's almost 4 abreast. It's Alvaro Carpe still leading coming out of turn 1, but Rico Salmela had a crash.
A couple of riders going wide
There
in
was a
turn
big
1.
pile up during practice yesterday with some oil spilled on circuit. Multiple riders went down. Eddie O'Shea and Salmela. Eddie O'Shea was telling us he just was cruising alongside with Salmela before turning around and seeing Salmela crash out and high side into the gravel. We talked to him after. Thankfully he was okay.
So another rider gone down.
Said he needed to have a change of look, but no change of look just yet for the Flying Finn. Now back out front, it is still Carpe leading the Estrella Galicias of O'Gorman, and I think it's Yambias who's pushed himself into 2nd position. So Guido Pini there in 4th. It is Yambias in 2nd position. So Carpe putting on a good show here in the opening laps, Liam.
Yeah, massive performance here. We can see the top 8 already breaking away at the moment, so they've got their heads down, but there's been a couple of incidents in turn 3. Cormac Buchanan in the back of that, as we see Yambias go for the lead on Alvaro Carpe, and Pini getting sat up there, but I think that was maybe Casey O'Gorman. We've got a replay here of the other crasher at turn 3. That's Cruces up the inside, almost tagging the back of Pini. I was going to see one. Oh, that was very close for Dodo Boggio. Boggio has never had too much luck, or he's either had great luck round about here or no luck whatsoever. Picked up his first ETC race win of the season 2023 right here, but he came into ETC 2 years ago leading the championship, crashed out on the first lap, and then never finished the race again in 2022. So it goes from bad luck to good luck. But once again, it's bad luck for the unfortunate Italian as we tick off another lap. Carpe leads away from Yambias, who's been shown great form this year, and Casey O'Gorman on the right of your screen comes absolutely out of nowhere, elbow to elbow down to turn 1, but it's Carpe that still holds it just for now ahead of O'Gorman. It's an Estrella Galicia 2, 3, 4 with Yambias and Quiles there, and Yambias late on the brakes with Cruces up the inside of Guido Pini, and a bit of a moment there for the Italian who started in pole position but pushes Cruces out wide into number 4. And Uriarte, the fastest lap of the race so far. That's 0.2 of a second slower than your pole position from Pini earlier on, and he's right on the back of this group, right behind Hakim Danish. And Danish again, as we've seen so many times this year, has come through the field, started 15th on the grid, and he's already up to 8th position.
Yeah, so Alvaro Carpe still out in front here. Yambias just showing him a wheel over the line, and Carpe responding in kind, but we come from turn 8 into turn 9. Brilliant shot that. Carpe wheel in the air, but he's got pressure from Casey O'Gorman. And if you take a look at Rico Salmella, who's involved in that crash, he's currently running all the way back in P29, your Estoril race winner. Yeah, as we said, it's a luckless streak for the Finn, but hopefully things will have a change in fortune for him.
Yeah, his fairing's a little bit loose on the right-hand side there.
That might hanging off there.
Yeah, it might get maybe called into the pits for that one, because you don't want that thing. The wind could catch that and it could come off at any moment's time. So, as you were saying there, Chris, unlucky performance for the Finnish rider. And we spoke to him yesterday and we were wondering what happened to him in race 1 in Catalonia. He had a broken suspension. The fact he was still able to set fairly competitive lap times late on in the race just shows you how talented the young Finnish rider is. But when he has any luck, he has no luck whatsoever. So hopefully for race 2 later on, he can be back up there as we're watching 4, 5, 6 abreast coming down to turn 1. Late on the brakes is Casey O'Gorman, the Irish rider, who takes the lead ahead of his teammate Quiles. A couple of riders on the Misano curbs on the outside there. It's rough and tumble on those curbs. We rode them yesterday and we can really feel how saturated they are. But Alvaro Carpe loses a couple of positions, and look at that. We have on lap number 4, Estrella Galicia 0-0. 1, 2 and 3. We've seen them at the front so many times over the years, and the blue bikes once again have hit the front, but Carpe retaliating once more up the inside of Pini. But Pini, as brave as you like, riding around the outside, but can't quite make it stick. And Cormac Buchanan is coming into play as well, and Jesus Rios, another rider that's
issue with his fairing.
Yeah, so that'll be a result. Yeah, that'll be a result of the crash at turn number 3. So he might be called into the pits as well. However, that one looks like it might be a little bit more solid on the bike. So here we go once again. Just look at the number 8 in your screen, further back, out of shot at the moment. 4 riders coming in. Yeah, Eddie O'Shea just loses it and gets a bit of a whack in the head.
Stuck under one of the Licky Moly.
He's stuck under one of the bikes there.
Mela, who is a bizarre crash, but thankfully all are okay, and most of those have actually rejoined the race. Eddie O'Shea, by the looks of things, has decided not to. Again, Lady Luck has deserted Eddie O'Shea. He's got another chance later in the afternoon, though, to put some of his promising pre-race form to convert it into podium potential. Now we look at Hakim Danish, who has just set a 1:48.2, the fastest lap of the race so far. He's running in P7, is the SIC, the SIC Racing MSI rider, currently in P7, so this would be a strong result for him. Back out front then, Max Quiles is leading over the line, but will he lead going into turn 1? He's got Casey O'Gorman for company, with Alvaro Carpe just behind, Guido Pini in there too, Cormac Buchanan just swapping positions for the battle for P3. Carpe and O'Gorman rubbing shoulders there. O'Gorman forced wide as Carpe takes the lead ahead of Pini. Brilliant stuff from the Spaniard, your Barcelona race 2 winner.
Yeah, Max Quiles there had a bit of a moment coming through turn at number 1 on the curbs, ran a little bit out wide. He's just losing even more positions as Casey O'Gorman gets sat up by Guido Pini. And I was just about to say, Hakim Danish just set the fastest lap of the race. That would have put him in pole position for today. So Hakim Danish is going great guns at the moment. We saw him just trying to make a move there into turn number 7 at the back of the screen. Didn't quite make it. Oh, moment there for Cormac Buchanan. Big save coming through turn 8. That's mired the pack. Everyone had to set up, and that's given Alvaro Carpe about a second lead now, but every single rider done so well not to clip the back of Cormac Buchanan. That could have been a massive front ender or a massive rear end high side, but wow, what a save there from Cormac Buchanan, Chris.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from the Kiwi. He was out of the seat and gone, but picked it up. We're going to get the replay here. Look at this now. He is out of the seat and gone. and just done so well. The likes of Yambias, Quiles, the riders just in behind to avoid him. It's almost miraculous that no rider has gone down there, but we are all still racing, and what that has done, as you can see, Buchanan is number 14 and in second place, but that held up the chasing pack just behind them, allowing Alvaro Carpe to open up a gap of 2:10.211 on our timing screen. So that's a little bit of a cushion for Carpe, something he hasn't experienced in this race as of yet. Cormac Buchanan running in second position, and he too has a little bit of a cushion to Guido Pini, your pole sitter, who is running in P3. A reminder that the Italian Guido Pini is debuting in Junior GP for the first time this year. So a brilliant run from the Italian, but he has got Buchanan in front of him and Casey O'Gorman behind him. The Estrella Galicia boys are hunting down a podium here. We had a 1-2-3 at one stage, and keep a look at that, number 89, Marcus Uriarte, doing Marcus Uriarte things. We've hardly mentioned him in the race, but he's come from the 4th row, and your championship leader is just quietly going about his business. He might know already that Jesus Rios is out of contention, and that some points on offer here will be a good result for the Spaniard, but he fancies taking a position off the hands of Facundo Yambias. And over turn 8, over the crest we go into Craig Jones' corner, swing it left, and Uriarte makes the move stick on the Uruguayan.
So what to point out there, the fastest lap of the race is coming from Leo Ramensdorfer on the number 5. You'll see him flash into screen in the background. So Leo Ramensdorfer is having an inspired ride right now. 0.6 of a second faster than your race leader on the previous lap. And just remember, Alvaro Carpe never got caught up in that big moment for Cormac Buchanan. And this lap so far, Cormac Buchanan is slowly closing the gap. Just a couple of tenths on this lap so far, but it's Leo Ramensdorfer on the back on the number 5 machine, the Liquid Moly Husqvarna Intact Junior GP team, who is coming to play and coming to play fast as they come across the line to tick off another lap. 9 laps to go here in Junior GP, race number 1.
Yambias about to respond on Uriarte here as we chase into turn 1. No one's going to be close enough to catch Alvaro Carpe nor Cormac Buchanan. Guido Pini sits in 3rd, so it's as you were at 1, 2, 3. But it looks like just a little bit further back that Uriarte has lost the position to Yambias. Indeed he has, and as Liam quite rightly pointed it out,
Cormac Buchanan
Buchanan is out of the seat, and he's saved it again, has he? That is fantastic. He was rightly out of the seat there. He was in the air. Now we will get an image very quickly of Buchanan. Where is he? There he is, just in behind Marcus Uriarte. So again, the Kiwi pulls off a sensational save here in the south of Portugal. He is still somehow in the running. That's 2 major scares for Buchanan. Let's take a look at it here. The number 14, just behind Guido Pini here. Oh wow,
I think
the rear end has whipped around the end there, allows both Yambias and Uriarte through, but Buchanan is still in this race and very much with this lead pack, though a gap has opened up just a little bit behind O'Gorman and between O'Gorman and Facundo Yambias. But given that this is Junior GP, slipstream will come into effect. We've a near kilometre-long straight here, so expect that gap to close over the next, 8.5 laps.
Yeah, Cormac Buchanan, heart in the mouth moment once again. He's had 2 huge moments there. It looked like there might have just been a front ender first of all, and that gripped up and then sent the rear into overdrive. But thankfully, the Kiwi is still on board and still chasing after the podium positions. Last time round, we'll see on screen there, Guido Pini is now right on the back of Alvaro Carpe. He set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:47.819 on the previous lap. As they come across the line now, we're going to see what the lap time is, a 1:47.5, and he's taking the lead of the race coming across the line, so he's just out of shot down to turn number 1. The young Italian, is his first race here in Junior GP, takes the lead of the race after setting a new fastest lap of the race. In old money, that would be a new lap record. However, we did have a new lap record set here on Friday by Alvaro Carpe, who's just lost the lead of the race, a 1:47.296, so only a couple of tenths of a second off the outright lap record for now. So as they power down towards turn number 5, Casey O'Gorman on that lap as well. He set a lap time just in the low 1:48, so he's closed in on the top 2, as Cormac Buchanan is back to the front of this group after his massive moment out of the seat a lap and a bit ago. He's just ahead of your championship leader Marcos Uriarte, with Max Quiles, Hakim Danish, Adrian Cruces and Leo Ramensdorfer rounding out the top 10 Further back, we've got a great ride coming through from RB Adatama from 22nd on the grid. He's already gained half of those positions into 11th, ahead of Rishi Moodley. Evan Belford, that new engine, coming to its 4. He's in 13th, ahead of Eamon Odaki, and Milan Pawelec in 15th spot.
So some space opening up out front. It's Pini and Carpe, followed by Casey O'Gorman. That is your top 3, and they have quite a little bit of a gap. It's Facundo Yambias currently running in 4th position, but he's about 9/10 of a second behind Casey O'Gorman in 3rd, but O'Gorman in turn 7/10 of a second behind Pini. But again, expect that gap to close up between the top 3. We'll see which rider has the fastest pace from that chasing pack. You've got Yambias, Buchanan, your championship leader, Uriarte, Quiles, Danish, Cruces, Rammerstoffer, all part of that. So the rider with the fastest pace there will surely fancy taking the lead here, as Max Quiles has a little look up the inside of Uriarte, but it's Buchanan who still leads this battle for 4th position as we come across the line into turn 1 once more. So let's take a look at this battle for 4th. Buchanan coming around, no problems this time, out of the seat twice so far and still aboard his bike, but he does lose that 4th position now to Max Quiles. Max Quiles wants to see himself lead this pack and try and close that gap to the leading trio. Now we have some yellow flags at turn 1. We're not quite sure as of yet who has gone down. We'll bring you an update once we know, but it's nobody from the top 3 and it's nobody from this chasing pack in the battle for 4th position, which Quiles currently leads. It's the number 47
Boggio
of Dodo
again.
Baggio gone again. Well, he
crash.
remounted. It's a second crash for the Italian, as Liam pointed out earlier on. It's either all the luck in the world or no luck at all for the Italian. Did he crash? He rolls in. He
Most
rolls into
crash
the,
you can have.
he rolls into the gravel and just kind of falls over. Does he rejoin once again?
RB Adatama there, looks like he's going a bit slow. Maybe he was a rider that brought out the yellow flags at turn 1. So RB Adatama, look at our timing pages. Yes, he's dropped all the way so far. Actually,
still running in 12th on our timing.
Yeah, so
screens,
maybe
but
it's doing
a lonely 12th.
Yeah, we'll have a look here. He
Oh,
did
yeah.
crash, yeah. RB Adatama did roll off at turn number 5. We did think he was rolling a little bit slow, so when we picked him up on our cameras, it would have just been him rejoining. But Guido Pini, look at this inspired ride. The top 3 are miles clear of the chasing pack. They're about half a second faster than the group behind her, really carving each other up on that previous lap there. The 148, 147 for Carpe and a 147.8 for Casey O'Gorman. The chasing pack on that previous lap are in the 149s, so over a second faster this top 3 are ahead of Max Quiles, Buchanan, Uriarte, Yambias and Cruces and the likes of them. So it looks like, barring any mistake, the battle for the top 3 will be between these 3 unless something happens. Fingers crossed it doesn't. But right now it's Max Quiles that takes over at the front in the Group 2 battle ahead of Cormac Buchanan, who we've seen have a couple of big moments, but thankfully it seems like he's regrouped himself, keeping wheels line astern for the moment. But for now, with Marcos Uriarte there on the number 89 on the Aspar Junior Team machine in 6th spot, he will be extending his championship lead over Jesus Rios, who did have a crash on lap 1 in turn 3.
Yeah, it might just be sit tight and take the points for Marcus Uriarte here. 11-point advantage over Rios coming into this one, though Alvaro Carpe is on for a podium, could reduce the gap to Uriarte, but there are 2 races. Uriarte has shown brilliant racecraft in the previous 3 rounds. So far, 5 races we've had in the Junior GP class. Uriarte on the podium on 4 occasions. Still waiting for that win, and by the looks of things, he will be waiting until a little later in the afternoon. Now, back out front, we've got Guido Pini, Alvaro Carpe and Casey O'Gorman setting a scorching pace. But just a reminder that it is extremely hot here in the Algarve. 30 degrees, I think I read 36 degrees track temperature, so tire wear may become a factor just a little bit later in this race. Now there are just under 5 laps to go here at the Autódromo do Algarve International. We're currently watching the battle for 4th, which Max Quiles leads. Here's your lead trio of Carpe, Pini and O'Gorman, already gone through turn 1. Max Quiles still leading here in the battle for P4 with Buchanan right on his tail, as is Uriarte and Adrian Cruces.
Another one of that's Danny
Shariel has gone down, the Asia Talent Team rider. More misfortune coming the way of Shariel. Now back on track, it is Quiles Buchanan. This is brewing into a nice little battle for 4th position with some crucial championship points up for grabs here. Adrian Cruces now has a little look up the inside of your championship leader, Marcos Uriarte, and he takes P6 off the hands of the Aspire Junior Team rider.
Yeah, Adrian Cruces, who is sitting 4th in the championship for now, he's going to be finding some great form here, especially if he sees Marcos Uriarte in front of him. He'll be eyes opening up like lights, chasing the number 89 as Keyless. We've seen quite a few riders over the crest of the hill popping away. I wonder if it's quite windy out there, maybe some air just getting right under the front wheel. Marcos Uriarte goes for a double overtake, almost clipping the back of Cormac Buchanan, but a great ride, a great overtake there, very ambitious into Portimão corner for your championship leader on the number 11. And we're just keeping a close eye on the background. Leo Ramensdorf into turn number 1 had a bit of a moment and ran off track. He's now detached from this second group, and he's currently in a very safe 8th position with Hakim Danish a couple of seconds further back. And Fernando Yambias, who we did see in the podium battle earlier on, he's dropped all the way down to 10th. He's now coming under bad pressure from Rishi Midley and Belford. Morossi is having a difficult weekend. Odaki and KG Mononyani, the South African rider. With 4 laps to go, we see him sweep across the circuit. That's some movements we don't really want to see, him sweeping across the circuit like that. We've seen a few riders come under hot water for doing that in the previous round, so hopefully they keep it clean. But it's Marcos Uriarte and Cruces are coming a little bit detached from Buchanan and Keyless in 4th and 5th position. The 14 having another small moment to turn at number 4. Thankfully not quite as big as the 2 moments we saw earlier on in the race. But back at the front, Guido Pini is opening up a bit of advantage over Alvaro Carpe and Casey O'Gorman.
Yeah, Buchanan now leads this battle for P4. Another strong result on the cards for the Kiwi rider, as Marcos Uriarte has lost his claim to P6. Adrian Cruces strikes back. But Buchanan, yeah, we mentioned it beforehand, he has taken a step up. There won't be a podium on offer today. We remind you that this is the chasing pack in the battle for 4th position, but it's following on from a double P5 in Barcelona and a couple of podiums already this year. P4 represents a very strong result. Your front 3 remains Guido Pini, Alvaro Carpe and Casey O'Gorman. No changes there. The only change indeed is the gap that they have opened up to the chasing pack. 4.5 seconds almost between them.
Big moment there for Hakim Danish. Looked like it was Rishi Midley, who has now really started to come on form.
Buchanan wide there. Keyless has the inside line, and Keyless is going to make that count. Will Buchanan lose another position? He absolutely will, to Adrian Cruces and indeed to Marcos Uriarte. I am very sorry, Cormac. Just as I was bigging you up and singing your praises, you lose those positions. I've only given you the commentator's curse. For that, I can only apologise. However, we're looking at the battle for the front here, and Alvaro Carpe is now within reach of Guido Pini. We thought Guido Pini had opened up a little bit of an advantage out front. Remember, it's a debut performance from Guido Pini, who is your pole sitter. Well, Carpe is now all over his rear wheel.
Not sure if there was a moment for Casey O'Gorman in the previous lap. It was 1.2 seconds slower than Alvaro Carpe on that previous lap. They crossed the line half a second a moment ago, but it's now 1.7 seconds off this group. Maybe, or it could be, as you were speaking about, Chris, maybe tire consumption is coming to the fore now. He's dropped back into the 149s. So we'll have to keep a close eye on Casey O'Gorman in this lap to see if it was a mistake or maybe he's just struggling with tires. But Guido Pini and Alvaro Carpe are the class above everyone else, and this is such a performance from Guido Pini, the 2022 European Talent Cup champion, leading the way, set pole position. It's his first race in JuniorGP, and it looks like he's a veteran of the class.
Yeah, superb stuff from the Italian, but he has, just under 2.5 laps remaining to keep it pinned, and he is only facing Alvaro Carpe, an established rider of brilliant pedigree in the JuniorGP category, and indeed a race winner, your most recent race winner. So he certainly knows how to get it done, particularly in tight circumstances. He beat Morossi and Uriarte to the victory in Barcelona race 2 by the narrowest of margins. We were commentating that race, Liam, and it looked for all the world it was between the two CF Moto Aspire Junior Team boys, and then Carpe took the wider line coming out of the last corner. And what a move it was indeed. I think it was what, less than 200ths of a second he pipped the Italian and Spanish rider by. But
it was extremely close. It was Marossi's second closest finish, where he just missed out in the win. Only 0.02 of a second less than his Misano pipped to the line. So Marossi really unlucky, but Alvaro Carpi's been waiting a long time for his first race win. But like buses, it looks like maybe two might be coming along at once. But he's got that pesky Italian in front of him who is not giving this up without a fight and leading quite brilliantly on the previous lap there. The lap times have only dropped by a couple of tenths of a second, around 1:48, but a low 48 on that one.
Indeed, they're the only riders in the 1:48 on that last time, on that last lap. Sensational stuff then from your front two. Pini, who leads Carpe. Casey O'Gorman looks like he is going to ride home to a comfortable P3. His first podium in the class for the young Irish rider, who is a rookie, an ETC graduate. We have seen him on the podium plenty of times in the European Talent Cup, but that will be a first for him. He has had a luckless run, so if he can just keep it tidy over the last lap and a half, it'll be his best result of the season. But all eyes then on the number 96 and number 83 as we come into the final sector for the penultimate time. Guido Pini is a classy rider. He is putting in a classy ride here. He is not feeling the pressure, the intense heat of Alvaro Carpe behind him as we take a look at a windmill in the background. But it is still Pini who is leading here. He is showing no signs of cracking just yet as we come around the final corner for the penultimate time. Now here we go with Carpe. He's got the inside line. Will he get into the slipstream of the pole sitter Italian to take the lead going into turn one? So it's Pini who led over the line that time. So leading out of the final corner should be enough. So where will he make his move, Liam?
It could be anywhere. We could see it into Portimão corner, turn at number 10 in the middle of the lap. It's quite interesting how they came out of the final corner. Carpe did get the initial drive, but as soon as he pulled alongside Pini, it looked like Pini just had the extra legs, and we saw Pini take the lead of the race from Carpe a number of laps ago by driving out of the final corner. So Carpe probably has to make his move either at turn 5, which we're coming up to now. We've passed turn 5. We see Casey O'Gorman in a brilliant but lowly third position, the Irish rider on for his first podium of the season. But the battle at the front is what we're keeping a close eye on. It's only a couple of hundreds in it as they come through sector number 2. Guido Pini on number 96, Alvaro Carpe on 83, coming over the crest of the hill into Craig Jones corner. Here they are. So Alvaro Carpe winding the wick up, looking to the left, to the right. Will he dive it up the inside? No, he won't. Guido Pini blocks the line brilliantly into Portimão corner, down through turn number 11 and into 12. We saw some oil spill yesterday. Into 13 we go, and Pini once again closes the line. Alvaro Carpe has nowhere to go and has to settle for second at the moment.
Through turn 14 we go. Pini is leading here as we enter into the final corner, but we did see it decided here last year at the final corner Portimão. You're not meant to overtake here, but can Alvaro Carpe invent something as they come downhill and uphill towards the line for the final time?
He's waiting.
It's Pini in the 96. Carpe adopts that wider line again. Is he going to make it count?
It's
Carpe has done it.
Carpe!
Carpe has done it. He's gone wide and snatched victory from Guido Pini by 300ths of a second. Absolutely sensational stuff from the young Spaniard.
Wow, cannot believe it. He's done it. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Alvaro Carpe. He timed his moment to perfection, just like he did in Catalonia a couple of weeks ago. Guido Pini looked so brilliant all throughout the final lap, but Alvaro Carpe knew if he just stayed close enough, he could get the drive out of the final corner and drive past the Italian who started from pole position. But as we said earlier on, he waited so long for his first victory, and two have now come along all at once. Alvaro Carpe, a two-time JuniorGP race winner.
Yeah, sensational stuff from the Spaniard. The number 83 has gone back to back, waiting so long for that first win, and he just takes two on the trot and does it in pretty much carbon copy fashion, out of the final corner, not in the victory position, not in the leading position, and with just a couple hundredths of a second between them. Carpe adopts the wide left line, coming over the line and takes victory. Guido Pini then, disappointment on one hand for sure, But what a performance from the pole sitter. A reminder, we've mentioned it on multiple occasions, but it's worth mentioning again. Guido Pini has only turned up to his first race in the Algarve, in the Junior GP category, having missed the opening rounds due to injury, an injury sustained during testing in Jerez for the Red Bull Rookies Cup, a broken elbow. He has now taken second place on his very first appearance in the Junior GP category, adding to what has been a very successful weekend for the Italian. He started on pole position, and he is certainly a contender for the races. We've 3 more rounds of Junior GP action upcoming across Valencia, Jerez and Aragon, and Guido Pini will certainly be among the front runners. A brilliant result then as well for the Irish rider, Casey O'Gorman. O'Gorman was part of that lead trio, but tailed off a little bit towards the end and rode to a lonely but a very satisfactory P3, a first podium in the class. Again, another rookie, the number 67 on the Estrella Galicia 00 bike, and you can see he's quite happy, a little bit tired, but he pats the bike, says job well done, as he bags his first podium in the Junior GP category. A little run through the action just behind the podium finishers. Max Quiles eventually came out on top of that battle with Cormac Buchanan. Quiles taking 4th position ahead of Buchanan by about 1/10 of a second, with Adrian Cruces and Rush Mudley, the FIM network teammates, coming 6th and 7th. Yambias was doing a lot of the front running, led at one point, but he had to settle for a P8 finish with a brilliant result for MLab British talent team rider Evan Belford, getting himself into the top 10, just ahead of Alessandro Morosi. But look how close this was, almost a photo finish. I say that if you take a picture of that finish, put it side by side of the picture with Barcelona race 2, and ask someone to find the difference, there will be very few to be found, with the exception, of course, for maybe the riders in 2nd and 3rd position. But brilliant stuff from Carpe. Leaves it late once again, and we'll be hearing from the young Spaniard very shortly. He's down, just about to roll down into pit lane, where he will have a little chat with Liam Hodgins, who has worked his way down there, and he is ready to talk to Alvaro Carpe. However, Alvaro is just rolling into pit lane there, as you can see the helmet of the Laglice Racing rider fire past the screen and launch himself into the arms of his team. Brilliant stuff from Carpe as he goes back to back and jumps up in the championship chase. And speaking of the championship, I have just noticed your championship leader, Marcus Uriarte, has not taken the checkered flag. We missed that. And well, we will see what happened in the highlights, but yeah, we missed him. He has lost. The championship leader coming into this race has not taken the checkered flag, so less than ideal end of race. So it's Casey James O'Gorman has a quick debrief with the Team Estrella Galicia 00 crew as he reacts to his first podium in the Junior GP category. He's come close before on multiple occasions, O'Gorman, but has just been lacking a little bit of luck at times, getting caught up in late incidents, crashing out while fighting for victory in Estoril. Today, it seemed a bit more of a mature ride. Once he had kind of tailed off the front 2, he settled in, hunkered down, and took P3. Brilliant result for the young Irish rider, as it is for Guido Pini, the Italian on debut in the Junior GP category. Takes a first podium to add to his brilliant pole position. So, Alvaro Carpe, your race winner, has gone back to back, and he is now with Liam Hodgins.
Well, Alvaro, a stunning performance. You had to wait a while for your first win, but 2 come along at once. Just talk us through the race, and did you always wait for the last lap and the last corner to time your race-winning overtake?
Yes. This race is very important because at the start of the championship I have a crash with another rider. I didn't did very good results, but now I have two wins, and the one was in Barcelona, and then now I'm very happy I have to congratulate Pini because it's his first race because he was injured and he did an impressive job. He have a very good pace. I tried in the 2 last laps to overtake in the final line, but I be a bit clever and I put 6th gear to don't overtake him. But I overtake him in the final line. I'm very happy for this. 2 wins and the 2 are the same. I have to say thanks to my team. This weekend they did an impressive job. And well, to all my family, my friends, and all.
Very well done, Alvaro. En español.
Sí, te estaba diciendo que bueno, la carrera había sido muy dura, con mucho calor y con Pini muy fuerte liderando, que tengo que decirle enhorabuena porque es su primera carrera después de la lesión y lo ha hecho bastante bien, con muy buen ritmo. Y bueno, después de esta carrera que es muy importante para el campeonato, ya que bueno, en la primera carrera no nos fue muy bien, otro piloto nos tiró, luego no estábamos haciendo muy buenos resultados, pero bueno, ahora llevo 2 victorias seguidas, que es muy importante y suma mucho. Y bueno, lo único es decir muchas gracias a mi equipo, a mi familia y a todos mis amigos.
Felicidades.
Gracias.
So this is how Alvaro Carpe went back to back in the Junior GP category. It was Guido Pini who started on pole position, but Pini quickly found himself dropping behind the Spaniard and eventual race winner, the number 83 of Alvaro Carpe, as Casey O'Gorman slotted into 2nd position. Cormac Buchanan forced a move up the inside of Max Quiles, but both went wide as a number of riders crashed out, including Rico Salmela, Eddie O'Shea, while back at the front, Carpe was doing a fine job of leading as Adrian Cruces, the number 11, then was the next rider to go up the inside of Max Quiles, where Quiles slightly out of the seat, while some more crashes just in behind the lead group. It was Carpe leading over Casey O'Gorman, with the Estrella Galicia boys of Facundo Yambias, Max Quiles not far behind. Cormac Buchanan part of that group as well. At one stage we had an Estrella Galicia 1-2-3 with Quiles out front, but Carpe, Buchanan all responded, as did Guido Pini, of course. You see here the number 83 of Carpe make a move to retake the lead ahead of the number 67 of Casey O'Gorman. Carpe, Pini and O'Gorman broke away before it was a 2-way fight for victory between Pini and Carpe. They built up a comfortable advantage as we lose a couple more riders. RB Aditama among those, as was Dodo Baggio. The battle for 4th was intense. Adrian Cruces, Cormac Buchanan, Max Quiles all going wheel to wheel in that. But back out front it was Guido Pini who was leading, coming out of the final corner. But just like he did in Barcelona, Carpe took the wide left line and has gone back to back here to make it consecutive victories in the Junior GP category. Time for your podium ceremony then, with Alvaro Carpe
E vamos proceder à entrega de
victorious.
prémios, prize giving ceremony for the first race of this Sunday here at Autódromo Internacional Algarve. A team manager from STV Laglist Racing, Jaime Fernandes.
First up is the STV Laglise Racing team manager, with his rider successful in the opening race at the Algarve. Casey O'Gorman brought out first after his brilliant P3 performance. The first podium of the year for the Irish rider, as it is for Guido Pini in just his first appearance in the Junior GP category, the pole sitter. Well, here is the rider who has made consecutive victories, Alvaro Carpe, back on the top step, and he is making a habit of this.
Handled by Manuel Marinheiro, president of the Portuguese Federation.
Mr. Manuel Marinheiro, president of the Portuguese Federation, hands out the first trophy of the day to the STV Laglise Racing team manager, as he does to Casey O'Gorman in a moment. O'Gorman will treasure forever his first podium in the Junior GP category.
And for the second position, the trophy is handled by Jean-Marc Deniu. FIM CCR Bureau member.
Mr. Jean-Marc Desnoud, the CCR Bureau member, had Guido Pini, his first trophy in the Junior GP category, your pole sitter. He'll be looking to go one better in this afternoon's race.
Trophy for the winner, Alvaro Carpe.
Well, Alvaro Carpe receives his second winner's trophy in the Junior GP category. Stunning performance from the young Spaniard.
For the winner, Alvaro Carpe.
And now time for the Spanish national anthem.
Prosecco time also for the first three of this Junior GP first race of the day. It's time for the Prosecco.
He says it's time for the Prosecco, but not a single
So
bottle
for
there. It's the
these
fizzy
young
water
riders.
for our podium trio in the Junior GP Race 1 here down in
And
Portimão,
also
the Algarve
photo
round.
shoots for the first three.
Yeah, a well-deserved drink for the trio as they rehydrate in what are scorching conditions in the south of Portugal. And time for a photo for all three of the podium trio. A moment none of them will ever forget.
And a big round of applause for the first three of the first race of the day.
Big
Casey
results
Gordon,
there
Guido
for
Pini and
your
Alvaro
top three.
Carpe.
Great win there for Alvaro Carpe. Guido Pini, his first race in Junior GP, and Casey O'Gorman, the Irish rider, taking his first podium in Junior GP. It's been a long time coming for the Irish rider, and he's finally posing for some extra photos there on the podium.
I've got a question for you, Liam. When
What's
was
that?
the
Go
last
on.
time you saw an Irish flag on a podium in two-wheeled racing?
I can probably go back to maybe Eugene Laverty, maybe 2014, sometime World Superbike.
I
when he
don't
won in
have the
Australia.
answer, but if anyone listening at home knows, feel free to get in touch and let us know.
Yeah, please do, because I could be extremely off the mark there with that one.
Long overdue, mind you.
Long overdue, yes. And you as an Irishman, you've been beaming ear from ear watching Casey O'Gorman take that podium, haven't you? Maybe go a couple of steps.
Yeah,
further in the
we'll
next
wait.
one.
We'll wait for the Irish national anthem. Hopefully sooner rather than later. When was the last Irish winner? That's my next question for you. But it's Alvaro Carpe's day here in the Algarve, or Alvaro Carpe's morning, as he goes back-to-back in Junior GP and makes it 2 wins in a row. The number 83 is very much a championship contender once again. And with Marcus Uriarte not picking up any points, he's charging towards the top of the championship lead, I should say. So it's no points for who? Jesus Rios, Marcus Uriarte. We'll get a full standings of the championship table in just a moment once we go through the results, because it's Carpe, Pini, Casey O'Gorman on pole, on the podium I should say. Then it's Max Quiles. Hakim Danish beat Buchanan to 5th place with Adrian Cruces in 7th. Rush Mudley, Facundo Yambias inside the top 10, as is Evan Belford. Alessandro Morosi, P11, Monignane, Odaki, Grenfell and Kotaro Uchiumi picking up some excellent points. Milan Pavlic just misses out, 4 seconds behind Uchiumi. Jakob Rossenthaler went down early but rode to P17, a good recovery ride but outside the points. Dodo Baggio, RB Aditama also went down, but no points for those two riders. Pomera, Tiesi, Puerta San, Farkas, Emmanuel all took the checkered flag. As you can see there, 25th position, Jesus Rios went out early. Marcus Uriarte went out with just a lap remaining, as did Leo Ramersdorfer. Danny Shariel, Edu Ligori, Eoezu, Rico Salmada and Eddie O'Shea, all riders as well didn't see the checkered flag. And this is what it does to the championship standings. It's Marcus Uriarte still at the top. Alessandro Morosi moves into 2nd position at the expense of Jesus Rios. Adrian Cruces just 7 points behind, tied with Rios. Alvaro Carpe, your race winner, moves up to 5th position and is only 8 points behind. Buchanan, Quiles, O'Gorman, Danish, all inside the top 10, but just a little bit further back. Eddie O'Shea didn't pick up any points today, but remains inside the top 10. Then it's Yambia, Salmela, Rossenthaler, Rush Mudley, Guido Pini. Indeed, Guido Pini, Danny Shari, Leo Rammersdorfer all tied on 20 points. Then Dodo Baggio, Marcus Ruda, Evan Belfort picked up some good points in race 1. Guillaume Blanc, Milan Pavlic, Eamon Odaki, Leonardo Abruzzo, Chiopozzo, Mognaniane. While the rest of your points finishers are Angus Grenfell, Kotaro Vijimi, and Lennox Pomara. So that's it from race 1 in the Algarve Round 4 2024, and race 1 belongs to Alvaro Carpe.